I'm going to change to the back, yeah. This is flat as well.
Not plastic.
Yeah. But today, but no interview. So there will be tomorrow.
No interviews at all, at all.
For the hills, no. Messe. Because,
Only gonna have a gate open for the VIPs to access if they do want to come onto food. Otherwise, they're staying in that area.
Yeah, yeah.
But on hand, any of the swimmers going through to inside that area.
Can we make, are you at liberty to make video sign and put it there to say, no swimmers are allowed?
5 to 4. Yeah. Braucht ihr eine 8?
Guys, if you're not eating like drinking, can you please put on a mask? So they're effectively two sessions.
Thanks, Benji. That's my program. I told them just that, but they all buggered off in that change. When you finish with my program.
So we're going to do
But
both.
she doesn't get up off her backside. Just fast. She says thanks. I'll give it to my coach. Hello. Just remember, you're allowed to do 100 meters swim down after your race.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this live streaming of the 2021 CANA Grand Prix swimming here in Stellenbosch at the beautiful Kutsenberg 50-meter swimming pool. It's a nice chilly afternoon here on day one where the heats are going to take place. Tomorrow morning we have the finals of session 1 taking place at 10 a.m. You can find us there also live on Swim SA's website or on YouTube. You can just type in Swim SA, you should find us there, or on the Facebook page. So all social media platforms, you will find us, all the action live here on YouTube. So it's day one heat of the CANA Grand Prix swimming Stellenbosch. CANA, what is CANA? It is the continental controlling body of swimming on the African continent. So let me explain that family tree for you. We have FINA right at the top, that's the international body, and then we have CANA, which is the continental controlling body, and then we have FINA, Swimming South Africa, which is then affiliated to Zone 4, and that is affiliated to CANA. We are ready to go. It is day one, the heats, and we're starting with the men's 200 meter IM. And the heats today, only 2 swimmers there. Although it's only 2 swimmers, we're still giving them the opportunity to take part in heats and finals. And in lane 4, we have Matt Seitz. And in lane 5, Virgotine Valentino. Under the starters orders they are. There we go, Matt and Valentino kicking off this 2021 CANA Grand Prix. In the water they go. It is the heats. Only one heat over here with the 200 meter IM, and you can see Matt Seitz, he had a very impressive swim at the Nationals a month ago, and he's one of those swimmers that just missed out on qualifying for Tokyo, and he's going to take the opportunity to try and qualify in Stellenbosch. These swimmers of course have the opportunity to qualify also, so let's see him go. In the 200 meter IM is on the second leg, the backstroke. Finishing 100 meters there after the backstroke, 56 seconds. Oh, that's 55.79 to be exact. The qualifying time there is 1:59.67. That is a time that he's chasing. He's entered in a converted short course time of 1:59.08. So he is chasing that 1:59.67 in the long course pool. Let's see how he goes. He turned on a 56 high. He's on the breaststroke leg there, looking strong and confident. Matty Seitz. Turning on a 1:37.2. He's got 29 seconds, 28 high to make that 1:59.67. Let's see what he goes. He's finishing strong. Come on, Matt. Come on, Matt. See, the swimmers are supporting him on. No spectators here due to COVID regulations. They're supporting him on. It's 1:54, 1:55. Come on, Matt. 1:58. We're waiting for that official time. 1:59.02. Matt Seitz, you qualified for Tokyo. First event here at the 2021 Grand Prix. CANA Grand Prix. I mean, what a way to kick this gala off. Matt Seitz just missed that time a couple of weeks ago at Senior Nationals, and here he is smacking it in the heats. 1:59.02 for him to qualify. That qualifying time was a 1:59.67. Well done, Matt. Surely that must be a great start for him for this gala. We are still waiting for Valentino to come in. He is on the freestyle leg now. Here he comes. He's got a personal best of 2:51.37. Valentino from Aquaville finishing there next to Matt at 2:56.65. Well done. I'm sure he'll feel honored finishing there next to Matt. Wow, and he still's got the finals coming up tonight. And what a relief knowing that it is in the heats that you qualified. Well, next up we have the women 200-meter freestyle. We have 2 heats, and just to explain to you, the heat session this afternoon has been split in 2 sessions. We have the South African swimmers taking part in the first session, and then we have all the other representatives of CANA that will take place in the second session. This, of course, all taking into account our COVID regulations. So we are being compliant over here, and we are swimming the first heat of 2 for the 200-meter freestyle. That second heat will be then swam later in the second session. We have 3 girls here in the first heat. They will get the opportunity to swim this afternoon in the final as well. In lane 3 we have Holly Clearworth, and lane 4 Hannah Robertson, lane 5 Hannah Piers. Hannah Robertson, our fastest seeded swimmer there, with a 2:03.15, and they are chasing the Tokyo qualifying time of 1:57.28. Hannah there in the lane 4 was also part of the 200-meter freestyle relay, that women relay that had a fantastic relay event at the SA Nationals, and they are waiting for that confirmation whether or not they have qualified. So lane 3 Holly, lane 4 Hannah, and lane 5 Hannah. So Hannah Robertson in 4 and Hannah Piers in lane 5. You can hear in the background the round of applause his teammates are giving him for Matt Sates. Well done. We are under starters orders for the women 200 freestyle. Women 200-meter freestyle in the water. 4 laps of this long course pool it is. 1:57.28 is the time that they are chasing to qualify for Tokyo. And we have that magnificent swim with the men 200-meter IM, already 1 qualification in the bag. And it looks like Hannah Robertson leading the trio there after lap number 1. 29.23, first 50. As I mentioned earlier, Hannah Robertson, part of that 4x200 meter freestyle relay. Those ladies did great at senior nationals. They're approaching the first half of the race. Lane 4, she turns as Hannah on a 1:01.21. That's that first split. Although they are only 3 swimmers, they are giving the opportunity to still swim heats and finals. So these girls will have the opportunity to swim in the finals again tomorrow. So that means they automatically qualify for the finals, which is a major advantage to them planning. They will probably sit down with their coaches and think strategically how they are going to approach this event. Will they try and clock that time? Will they try and hit that qualifying time in the heats, or will they rather try and save it for the finals? Some swimmers are just better swimming late afternoon, some better in the morning, so they might use the heats to maybe plan and going out hard, seeing what times they can go out hard, or vice versa. Maybe that back end speed, work on that back end speed, and to make sure that they put it all together for that final. And here she comes, Hannah Robertson, leading the way, ending that 200 meter freestyle heats, finishing the time of 2:07.05. Lane 5 second there, 2:09.62. That was Hannah Piers, and Holly Clearworth finishing 3rd there in that heat. Hannah Robertson's personal best there, 2:03.15. I would imagine that she spoke to her coach and She did swim a bit slower in the heats over here, but I'm sure there's a plan behind that. She looks very relaxed as she finished and in control, and I'm sure they will sit together now and say how are they going to approach this race in the final to make sure they perfect it in that final. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. you can catch the finals live. Also, you can go onto the Swim SA website or Swim SA on YouTube. You can simply just type in Swim SA on YouTube and you will find us there. As I mentioned, there are 2 heats in the women 200 freestyle, but that second heat will be swum in the second session, as those are the swimmers represented outside of South Africa. So the next event will be the men's 100-meter freestyle. The men's 100-meter freestyle, Ethan Dupree is in that race. Ethan Dupree has already qualified for the Olympic Games, Tokyo Olympics. Garland is his coach. Ethan Dupree is representing Cybersmart Aquatics. 3 heats will be swum here in this first session. This first session of the heats here on day 1. 3 heats will be swum by the South African swimmers. And heat 1 of 3, a total of 6. Heat 1 in lane 2 we will have Nick Westhuizen. In lane 3 Luke Altman. Lane 4 Matthew Bosch. And lane 5 Kobe Ndebele. Lane 6 Ethan Dupree. And lane 7 Ethan Pulser. Fastest seeded time there is Matthew Bosch with a time of 50.65. The qualifying time there for Tokyo, 48.57. The swimmers now approaching the blocks, taking their time. You got to thank the officials here at the CANA Grand Prix here today in Stellenbosch. They really, truly are on the swimmers' side and want to give them the best environment, give them the best time and space in order to be in the greatest shape for that event. So they know that there aren't many heats, and therefore they take their time. They have the time. They optimize that time for the swimmers, so they give them their space so that they are in optimal condition to chase those personal bests or qualifying times. You can see the swimmers there getting ready. In lane 5 over there, that's Kobe Ndebele, very eager to get going. And then lane 4, Matthew Bosch. Matthew Bosch looking strong and focused. Kobe representing Seals here today. Under starters orders we go. And off the gentlemen go. It is a flat out swim, the 100 meters. A very unique and a famous event in the swimming world is the 100 meter freestyle. 50.65 is to keep that lead in this heat. Lane 3, 4 and 5 swimming close together there. It looks like lane 4 might just hit the edge there, but lane 5, Kobe finishing strong. Who was it? It was lane 5. Kobe finishing really strong there. 51.95. Matthew led well there, but Kobe really taking advantage of every single centimeter in this pool, putting that head down that last 5 meters and just pushing through. I'm sure they'll take a lot from that in the heats. Hopefully they made the finals so that they can improve on those times. Well done, gentlemen. And as I said, 3 heats to be swum in the first session. a total of 6 heats. We'll do the remainder of the 6 in the second session. I mentioned earlier, CANA is the continental controlling body, and within CANA you have different zones, and Swimming South Africa falls under zone number 4. And leading up to this event, we had a CANA training camp. So we had representatives and swimmers who were invited from all over the African continent to be part of this training camp here at Kutsenberg. And they finish off this training camp with this event. Graham Hill is the South African head coach, and he was also the head coach of the training camp. So what a privilege it is for these swimmers to train under such an experienced coach. You can see those swimmers getting ready for Heat 2, warming up the muscles. As I'm sitting here, I've got my warm jacket on and long jeans. It is nippy outside. It is fresh. It is an overcast afternoon here in Stellenbosch. The water temperature is good. I see the swimmers prefer being in the water than out the water. And there we have them, Heat 2. Jesse van der Aar and Guy Brooks. Jesse's in lane 3, Guy Brooks lane 4, Simon Haddon in lane 5, Vikas Potgieter in lane 6, Adrian Lowe, he will be swimming in lane 7. Under starters orders we go. Fast reactions off the block, good underwater work. 15 meters is the maximum distance they may go underwater after the start and the turn. Some of those swimmers maximizing the opportunity with that distance. And out they go, approaching halfway. Lane 4 turns first, 24.97. That is Guy Brooks. He's got a personal best time of 50.31. Guy Brooks leading the way after the first half. Perfect and controlled as they come in over here. It looks like Guy Brooks still leading. And there we go, 51.32 for Guy Brooks. Well done. And it looked like Simon Haddon came in second over there, 51.22. The athletes are given the opportunity to do a cool down, a warm down after each event, 50 meters in total. And they're taking advantage of that opportunity. A lot of lactic acid building up in a 100-meter event like that. So they'll really use the opportunity to take their time and cool down. Heat 3. The leader there in Heat 3 in lane 4 with a 50 flat there is Chad Leclos, South African swimming icon. Gold medal in London with that 200-meter fly. Wow, what a great event that was. We also got a silver in London with a 100 fly. Silver in Rio, 200 free. Silver in Rio, 100-meter butterfly. Joining him in that third and final heat for this first session will be in lane 2. There you can see Chad Leclos, focused. Keeping on the warm uniform up to the last minute. Making sure he stays warm. Coach Barland took care of him during the warm-up. Saw him over here, very, very relaxed, very humble, taking good care, and greeting the fellow media team here next to me before starting the session. There we go, lane 2, Mitchell Engelke, Martin Binnedal, Chad Leclerc, Daniel Ronaldson, Luke Slabber, and Ruan Lategan. Martin Binnedal, also one of those swimmers that just missed out on qualifying at the senior nationals. But here he is in the 100-meter freestyle. They're chasing a time of 48.57. That's the qualifying time. Under starters orders we go. And off they go, as I said, taking advantage of that 15-meter, full 15-meter. Chad Leclerc goes underwater. He's known for his underwater work. You'll see him on this turn. Leading the way is Mr. Chad Leclerc. Let's see what he turns on that first 50. Lane 4, 24.43. That is Chad Leclerc, 24.43. Let's see what he comes back on. Looking very controlled and smooth, breathing every second stroke, staying in that rhythm, keeping that stroke rate and just powering through. Taking this third and final heat, putting the head down as he finishes lane 4. That is 50.15. Lane 5 finished second there, Daniel Ronaldson. And lane 3, third, Martin Binnedal. I just missed his time there. But there we go. First it was Chad Leclerc, second Daniel Ronaldson, and third Martin Binnedal in that third and final heat for the men's 100-meter freestyle. I'm sure we'll see those 3 names tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. in the final as they cool down. Now the next event that we have here is the women's 100-meter breaststroke, and a swimmer there that'll be pretty nervous for this event is none other than Lara van Niekerk from Pretoria Aquatics. She just missed out on the Tokyo Olympic qualifying time. The time she needs there is 1:07.07. And her personal best here, 1:07.39. We saw Matt Sates do it in that very first event here this afternoon, qualifying for that 200-meter IA. Will we see another qualifying time for Lara van Niekerk in the women's 100-meter breaststroke, joining Tatiana at the Tokyo Olympics? Tatiana Schoenmaker not here at this meet. She's done her qualifying times. Very happy with the form in which it is. And Tatiana and her coach Rocco Mayram regrouping and getting ready for the Tokyo Olympics. Yeah, they are. The women's 100-meter breaststroke. In lane 2, we have Anna Sabacha. In lane 3, Emma Kuhn. Lane 4, Lara van Niekerk. Lane 5, Lana Janssen. Lane 6, Savannah Voigt. And lane 7, Alani Ferreira. 1:07.07 is the time that we're going for over here to qualify. Will Lara van Niekerk do it? I see her coach Eugene from PAC standing poolside halfway through. She will recognize that unique whistle from Coach Eugene as he paces her through this event. Under starters orders we go. the women's 100-meter breaststroke, heat 1 of 2. That second heat will swim in the second session. Great start there by Lara van Niekerk. And what I really love to see is the swimmers getting together from all clubs, all provinces across the country, backing each other, really supporting each other, as I know some of these swimmers are pretty close to qualifying. Lara van Niekerk going out strong. Let's see what she goes out on. 31.69 is that split. 31.69 is that 50-meter split. We do know that she has another opportunity tomorrow morning in the final. But how fantastic will it be if she can qualify in the heats? There you can hear Eugene's whistle. She can hear that whistle. She's got a big lead now, so she doesn't have anybody pushing her in the water. So she listens to that whistle, to coach's whistle, as she comes. Yeah, it is 1 minute 101, 102. Come on, Lara. 106, 107. She touches on a 108, 1-2. Just missing out again on that Tokyo Olympics. Lane 3, that is Emma Kuhn finishing in second. As we know, Lara has got another opportunity tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. in the final. She didn't look too concerned after that event. I'm sure her and her coach had a plan for the heats, and I trust that she stuck to that plan. Now she's going to get out, regroup with her coach Eugene, and I hope and I truly do believe she's going to qualify for the Tokyo Olympics. Tomorrow morning, she's going to hit that 107.07. Come on, Lara. Next up, as I said, the Heat 2 will be swimming that second session later on, and that means next up we have the men's 50-meter breaststroke. So one swimmer to look out for over here is in lane 4, Michael Howley. So Michael Howley is one of our swimmers who's already qualified for the Tokyo Olympics. He did not qualify at senior nationals. He is based in the States, in Tennessee, and we heard at nationals how our high performance manager Dean Price mentioned that he is giving the swimmers the opportunity who are abroad to qualify abroad. So he's already qualified in the 100-meter breaststroke. Michael Howley also won gold in the 2019 Youth Olympics in the 50-meter breaststroke. So definitely one of his favorite events. So he's based in Tennessee, and the Tennessee head coach called up one of our local coaches here, Mr. Hilton Slack, and asked if he can take Michael under his wing as he preps for the Tokyo Olympics. He's got its bright orange Tennessee colors on, and I'll tell you what, old Michael is a true character. You can see he missed his friends, yeah, his South African friends. He walked in during warm-up, and he literally walked to almost every single swimmer and gave them a big hug. All of these swimmers would have done COVID tests, so of course it is a COVID-free hug. But he's a true character and a humble young man, that is Michael Howley, and he's getting ready for the 50-meter breaststroke. Joining him there will be in 3 other swimmers. There are only two heats over here. The first heat will be swum now, and the second heat will be swum later on. So our officials are getting ready on the opposite side of the pool. Michael Howley also making history in SA swimming, the first swimmer of color to qualify for the Tokyo Olympics, to qualify for any Olympic Games. He did qualify for the Youth Olympics, but Senior Olympics, our first South African swimmer of color. Man, that just gives me goosebumps. I can relate that to our captain Sia Kolisi, our first black South African rugby captain. I can put him right up there. History is made in swimming South Africa. And here we are, we're going to see him swim. Coach Hilton Slack, who's taken him under his wing yeah, in Cape Town. It'll be his first event that he will see him swim on SA soil since he's been to Tennessee. And there we can see the swimmers getting ready. Warm clothes are off. There you can see him, Michael Harley, jumping up and down. Joining him there in lane 3, Benji Sack, and lane 5, Luke Slabbert, and lane 6, Mitchell Engelke. Lane 4 and the swimmers of swim and the colors of Swim Lab. 50-meter breaststroke. The one thing I like about breaststroke is you could see 4 swimmers and 4 different styles of breaststroke. A very fast start there by Michael Howley. As they reach halfway in the pool. 10 meters to go now. Michael Howley leading the way here in the heats. Let's see that time over there. 50-meter breaststroke, 27.99. Beautiful swim there. He goes straight into his cool down, straight into the cool down. I'm sure he would have felt comfortable in that swim. He's got the finals coming up tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. The event he qualified for, the 100-meter breaststroke, that'll be his main event going into Tokyo. So I think that'll be the event that him and Coach Hilton Slack will focus on leading into Tokyo. So they'll be using this event all as preparation. All eyes are on Tokyo now. It's great to have the opportunity. There will be 1 or 2 local galas leading in to Tokyo. So to give these athletes the opportunity, these swimmers the opportunity to test their boundaries, to figure out some stuff, to test the body's limits. Can they go out strong? Should they come back strong? So that they are perfect for Tokyo. There, 3 swim lab girls. You can see their masks are on all the way until they start their swim. Those are the swimmers getting ready for the women's 100-meter butterfly. COVID regulations are in place. These swimmers also stay together in the hotel. So they're all in the same bubble, making sure that all COVID regulations are in place. Feels like a school camp, I'd say. No sneaking out. I'm sure some of them are tempted here in the student world, the student town of Stellenbosch. But no sneaking out. They're all in their bubble, taken good care of. We don't want any risks leading into Tokyo. Yeah, we see our breaststrokers are back after that 100-meter cool down they just did. The women's 100-meter butterfly, the time that they want to qualify for Tokyo Olympics, 57.92. Only 1 heat here. They will swim now in the heats and then tomorrow morning in the finals again. A lovely opportunity for them. In lane 2 we'll have Chloe Gershani. In lane 3 Abigail Kotza. Lane 4 Dunay Kutsia. And lane 5 Rachel Grupus. And lane 6 Juliet Welsh. Dunay Kutsia also a swimmer to look out for at the 2021 CANA Grand Prix event. She also just missed out on qualifying for Tokyo, so she's using this event. Well, she's not using this event to qualify. I spoke to her coach, Linda de Jager, based in Pretoria. She swims for Tux, and she's hoping to qualify in a couple of weeks' time. But you never know with these swimmers. Different environments, different venue. And they might just surprise us, but training-wise, definitely not trying to qualify here today. But you never know; there might be some surprises. There we have them: lane 2, Gersney, lane 3, Kotza, lane 4, Kutsia, lane 5, Grupus, and lane 6, Walsh. Under starters orders they go. 100-meter butterfly woman. Dunay Kutsia leading the way there in her red tux cap. As I mentioned, training under coach Linda de Jager. Dunay Kutsia also medaled at the Youth Olympics there with Michael back in 2018. First 50 meters, she goes 29.44. 29.44, she goes out. Keeping that head down on the first stroke. Good underwater work, keeping controlled. One down, one up, as they call it. The other events that she enjoys, the 200-meter butterfly and also the 800-meter freestyle. Now she's really pulling away over here. 56.57 says the clock. 5 meters to go. Finishing head down, strong into the wall she goes. 101.67. 101.67 there by Dunay Kutsia. Lane 5, 110.83. And lane 3, 111.19. Lane 3, that is Emma Kuhn. Lane 5, Lana Janssen. But no, sorry, those were the breaststroke girls. That was lane 3, Abigail Kotze, and lane 5, Rachel Grubes. Dunay Kutsia winning that heat. Those 5 girls will all swim tomorrow morning again in the finals at 10 a.m. Coach Linda de Jager not here today, so she's under the wings of Eugene, another one of our Pretoria coaches. Here we're having a look at our swimmers for the 100-meter backstroke. The men 100-meter backstroke, 53.85, and how can we not forget Peter Kutsia, 16 years old, qualifying at the senior nationals. He's not here today, but wow, what an unbelievable event that was. He actually qualified in the relay, in the medley relay, and it's not often that one can qualify in the medley relay, but he qualified because backstroke is the first leg in the medley relay. He's allowed to qualify for that backstroke event. There we have it, heat 1. We have Adrian Lowe in lane 1, lane 2, Nick Flanagan, lane 3, Corey Webb, lane 4, Martin Binnedal, lane 5, Vickers Potgieter, lane 6, Ty Pearson, lane 7, Connor Theron, and lane 8, Ethan Pulser. Martin Binnedal swimming not too long ago in that 100-meter freestyle along Chad de Clos. But there he is in the green cap. Martin Binnedal, also one of our swimmers hoping to qualify here in Stellenbosch at the age of 25 years old. He's got a seeding time here of 55.2, that is. The qualifying time, 53.85. To qualify for Tokyo.
Let's go, Connor!
And there's Vickers. Right next to Martin, Vickers Potgieter. Vickers representing Vineyard Swimming Club. And Martin swimming for Seagulls. Great to see that these swimmers have some good humor among them. It's quite different, not swimming with spectators. With spectators around and the loud noises and the loud cheering, you can't often hear the chirps going around, but with no spectators around, these guys love to chirp one another. There you can see smiles on the faces. I'm sure that helps with the nerves. Some nervous smiles, I'd call them. Our officials just assisting with the backstroke blocks. Under starters orders, we go for heat 1 of 2 for the men's 100 meter backstroke. You can see Martin there coming right out the water as the starter says, take your marks. Great start by him. Beautiful head position, sticking right to the lane rope. As they approach the 50 meter, let's see what they turn on. That is a 28.41, 28.41 for Martin Benedel. Corey Webb in lane 3, part of Swimlab, and then Vickers Potgieter in lane 5. And here they come, Martin Benedel. What will he finish in? A comfortable 58.5 for Martin. He goes straight in that cool down. Lane 5 coming in second. That is Vickers in lane 3, finishing there with a 101. That is Corey Webb. Very good chance for those first 3 swimmers to swim in the finals tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Some of them would know that leading into the heats, and therefore using the opportunity to perhaps take it a bit easier in the heats and spare that energy for the finals coming tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. All the action you can catch live on Swim SA. You can go onto Swim SA's website, Facebook page, and the link will take you straight to our YouTube page, where you will find all the action here live from the 2021 CANA Grand Prix. Swimming in the beautiful Stellenbosch here at Kutsenberg swimming pool. Weather conditions treating us well here today in Stellenbosch. For a moment I thought it was going to rain, but it seems like it's treating us very well. Pretty cool outside. Water temperature fantastic. Clear waters. We heard how Mr. Dean Price, our high performance manager, said at Senior Nationals, as long as these swimmers have warm water and clear water, they are happy. Kutsenberg swimming pool has certainly provided that. The next event we have the women's 50-meter backstroke heats. 2 heats will be swum in this first session, the third later on. And in heat 1, we can see those girls getting ready on the opposite side of the pool. Just getting those backstroke blocks. I'll find out the correct name for them. But those backstroke pads, backstroke plate. My producer says here next to me, and I trust him. Producers are always right. We'll call them a backstroke plate for now. I'm sure our coach will correct us later on, and I'm sure the swimmers have developed some slang words for them as well. But for now, we'll call them backstroke plate. So they are given the opportunity to use a backstroke plate. Now the backstroke plate provides that extra grip in the start underneath their feet. They pull themselves right up, and that plate gives them that grip over there. There we go. The women 50-meter backstroke. In heat 1 there we have Tanith Ward in lane 2. Lane 3, Chloe Gershani. And lane 4, Michaela de Villiers. Lane 5, Hannah Piers. And lane 6, Olivia Scott. As those girls get ready. Fastest seeded time there, 29.23 by Michaela from Vineyards. Based here in Cape Town, Michaela de Villiers. Twelve swimmers in total swimming in the heat here for the 50-meter backstroke women. So not so comfortable to qualify for the finals as some of the other events. Top 8 will go through to the finals. Spoke about earlier about those COVID regulations that are in place. The swimmers all staying in the same hotel in their own little bubble, making sure that we're not risking anything leading up to the Tokyo Olympics. We know how fast this COVID-19 can spread, and we don't want to put anyone at risk. So kudos to the officials and our compliance officers for making sure that everybody stays safe here at the 2021 CANA Grand Prix swimming Stellenbosch. I had to undergo my own COVID test. Not the most comfortable test, I'd say. I don't know whether they took a sample of my nose or my brain. But nevertheless, came back negative. That's all that counts. And a lot of these officials and swimmers participating here today and over the course of the next 3 days would have done the same. There we go, under starters orders for the first heat here of the 50-meter backstroke. girls. Tanit lane 2, Chloe lane 3, Michaela lane 4, Hannah lane 5, and Olivia in lane 6. Also pulling themselves up right out of the water to get that maximum launch. And there with the early lead, Michaela de Villiers going out strong there from Vineyards. As they approach 15 meters to go, that's where they start feeling that lactate. Maintaining a good stroke rate. That is Michaela and her teammate next to her, Hannah Pierce. Michaela finishing there 30.62. Then 5 second there, 31.61. That is her teammate, Hannah Pierce. Very comfortable she looks there. De Villiers, as they go on to their cool down. Interesting fact, if you're ever wondering how we determine the qualifying times for the Tokyo Olympics, it is down to the split second, and you wonder how they calculate that. Well, it's very simple. They take the 14th best time of the previous Olympics, of that event. So of each event that was swum at the Olympic Games in Rio, the 14th best time, that would be your A qualifying time. Pretty interesting fact I only learned a couple of days ago. And FINA then allows 2 swimmers per event to qualify. So if you have more than 2 swimmers of that country that qualified that time, they would take the top 2. In this case, yes, so 14th best time, that is the qualifying time of the previous Olympics, the 14th best time of the previous Olympics. That is the A qualifying time. Here we have Heat 2 coming up in the girls' 50-meter backstroke. In lane 2, we have Ava Ratner. In lane 3, Bernali Doster. Lane 4, Olivia Nell. And lane 5, her sister Georgia Nell. And lane 6, Claudia Smith. Olivia Nell, also one of those swimmers that really want to qualify for the 100-meter backstroke for Tokyo, and yeah, she is swimming the 50-meter backstroke. Coach Hilton Slack, her coach from Swim Lab, and there she goes. It is Olivia Nell leading the way. Her sister following, not too far behind her, Georgia Nell. 29.13 is her best time. Finishing strong in a 29.47, not too bad for heats. Lane 5, her sister, 30.81. Her teammates giving her a round of applause. You can hear them here in the background. And Coach Hilton Slack looks pretty satisfied with that swim. Great to see the female swimmers representing this year going into Tokyo Olympics, man, and leading the way there in the female swimming is Tatiana Schoenmaker with that world-leading time, the 200-meter breaststroke, 2:20. And we hope to send some ladies in the relay to the Olympics. And Olivia Null is hoping to make that relay team. We have the 4x100 medley relay, which has got a great chance to go to the Olympics. So Rebecca Meader and Olivia Null pretty close there to be swimming the backstroke in that relay event that we'll send through. And then we have Erin Gullinger on the fly, and perhaps Amy Canny on that free. Tatiana Schoenmaker, of course, on the breaststroke. That was Heat 2. Heat 3 will be swum later this afternoon. Next up, we have the 200-meter butterfly. 200-meter butterfly, one of the hardest events in swimming, and there you can see the swimmers getting ready. They're Ruan from Players. Those half smiles, you know them. Nervous, excited, trying to control the nerves. Mr. Chad de Clos, it's his main event there, with a seated time of 1:54.15. We also have Ethan de Prix. There he is, Ethan de Prix getting ready. So the swimmers here in the 200-meter butterfly heats this morning. In lane 2, Ruan Lateghan. In lane 3, Dylan Wright. Lane 4, Chad de Clos. Lane 5, Ethan de Prix. And lane 6, Johan Boshoff. Both Chad and Ethan have qualified for the Tokyo Olympics, and that qualifying time was a 1:56.48. Tough event coming up here. 200-meter butterfly under starters orders. And there they go. First 50 of 4. Mr. Chad de Clos leading the way. We'll never forget back in London, Chad de Clos just finishing ahead of Mr. Michael Phelps at the London Olympics to take that gold. Ethan de Prix using the pace of Mr. Chad de Clos. Sticking on his hip there, that is Ethan de Prix. Yeah, they come halfway in. Chad de Clos turning on a 56.85. And that's what makes him so good, is that even after 100 meter, he almost hits that 15 meter underwater. Really taking the advantage of his underwater work. Not many swimmers can do that on a 100 butterfly, just having one turn hitting that 15 meters underwater. And you'll see man, on that last turn, also very, very good underwater work. There they both turn. You see them go. Beautiful underwater work that is. Onto the last 50 that go. They go. It is Chad de Clos leading the way. Ethan de Prix using Chad to pace him along. And into the finish they come, looking comfortable. Chad looking around, they're putting their head down. 1:59.27 that is for Chad de Clos, and 1:59.9 Ethan de Prix. Well done, gentlemen. Congratulating one another after that tough event. I'll tell you what, no matter if you cruise that event or if you race that event, it remains hard. Shaking their heads as to why am I picking this event, and yet the next event they do it again. So I spoke about those qualifying times earlier. So it's the 14th fastest time of the previous Olympics. That is what they use for the A qualifying times. Now, how does it work for relays? Relays in the previous world champs, the top 12 automatically qualify for the relays for the next Olympic Games. So we had in South Korea our World Championships back in 2019. So the top 12 teams would have automatically qualified, and they would love to have 2 heats there. Therefore, there's 4 slots left for the rest of the world to qualify. So then they have up until the end of May to enter these teams and their times, and then dependent on who has those top 4 fastest times, those teams will then fill the slots of that remaining 4 slots for that relay event at the Tokyo Olympics. Now, all these South African teams did not fall under that top 12, so we are hoping for that last 4 slots, and we are really trying hard for the ladies, both in the 200 meter free relay, 4x200 meter freestyle relay, and then also the 4x100 meter medley relay. The next event, the 400 meter freestyle, 8 laps of the 50 meter pool. The qualifying time there for Tokyo Olympics is 3:46.78. Only 2 swimmers here in Heat 1. Heat 2, those 2 swimmers will swim later on this afternoon. There we can see Keegan Wright from Tigerberg Aquatics. He will be swimming in lane 4, and next to him we will have Low Esterhuizen. Low Esterhuizen from Players. Keegan Wright there with a fastest seated time of 4:14.87, and then in lane 5 we have Low Esterhuizen, 4:22.62, and on they go in the 400 meter freestyle heats. Don't forget, you can catch us live at every session. The heat sessions will take place now, 4 o'clock, and then tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock, and the final sessions 10 a.m. tomorrow morning and 10 a.m. on Saturday morning. You can go onto Swim SA's website and find the link there to each one of these sessions, or you can go straight onto YouTube. Just type in Swim SA and you'll catch us live there for each one of these sessions. We are making sure that you do not miss a second of this event here at the 2021 CANA Grand Prix swimming in Stellenbosch. 100 meter down, 300 to go for these 2 gentlemen. There you can see their swimmers sticking side by side. Keegan Wright and Low Esterhuizen, that is reaching halfway into this 400 meter. They get to swim it tomorrow morning again in the finals, and turning there on 2:09.41. That is Keegan Wright from Tigerberg Aquatics. Yeah, they come towards 300 meters, these 2 swimmers, Keegan Wright. And then the second heat will be swum later this afternoon. So for those that joined in later, just to explain to you why we are splitting the heats this afternoon into 2 sessions. It is just to comply to COVID regulations, and the COVID compliance officers, they are in control and they have their reasons for this. But just to let you know, the first session we are swimming all the South African swimmers. So all these South African swimmers are swimming in the first session, and then the second sessions we will have the remainder of the African swimmers swimming the African countries. They'll be swimming in the second session. So once we've done with the first session, all the heats, we then swim the remainder of those heats later on. So we'll then ask the South African swimmers to leave the premises, and all the other swimmers then join in. They have an opportunity to warm up, and then they swim again. It is called the CANA Grand Prix. And here they finish. Keegan Wright pulling away that last 100 meters, finishing nice and strong, and he's got a time of 4:22.21. 4:22.21, and just behind him, coming in low, Esterhazen in 4:29.03. They know they'll be swimming this event again tomorrow morning in the final. So as I mentioned, this is the CANA Grand Prix. So who is CANA? CANA is the continental controlling body for swimming on the African continent. So just to explain that swimming family tree to you, we do have FINA, who's the International Swimming Federation, and then divided underneath FINA we have our different continental controlling bodies, where Africa is called CANA. CANA is our continental controlling body, and then within CANA we have our different zones. South Africa then falls under Zone 4, and Swimming South Africa is affiliated to Zone 4. So we call this the CANA Grand Prix because we have invited some of the CANA countries to Stellenbosch here today, to some of those swimmers, to give them the opportunity to join our South African swimmers and swim here in preparation of the Tokyo Olympics. Some of the swimmers have already qualified. Some of the swimmers would still like to qualify, just missed out in nationals. And CANA then also had a training camp leading in to this event. The training camp started earlier this week under head coach Mr. Graham Hill. Coach Graham Hill, he was the head coach for the training camp, the CANA training camp leading into this event. Graham Hill is also our national head coach. And managing all of this is our Swimming South Africa high performance manager, Mr. Dean Price. I'm sure he is very proud of how Swimming South Africa has done this year. Next up we have our women 50-meter freestyle, Heat 1. Lane 2, we have Abigail Kotze. Lane 3, Courtney van Biljon. Lane 4, Michaela de Villiers. Lane 5, Lara van die Kerk. Lane 6, Chloe Gershani. And in the water they go, 50-meter freestyle. This is Heat 1. Our fastest seated time there is Michaela de Villiers, 26.88. She's leading the way there. Vineyards and Lara van die Kerk. Not too long ago, she completed the 100-meter breaststroke, representing PAC. Finishing strong there. Lane 4, 27.44. That is Michaela de Villiers. Well done, Michaela. Second place there was Lara van die Kerk. Two heats of the 4 will be swum here this afternoon in the first session. Then the remainder of them will be swum later on. So yes, as I mentioned earlier, we have we had the training camp for CANA, and Dean Price, our high performance manager, I'm sure he's pretty satisfied with how swimming is going in South Africa currently. A whole bunch of swimmers already qualified for Tokyo, +1. How can we forget that first heat this afternoon? Matthew Sates in that 200-meter IM. He knew he had the opportunity tomorrow morning in the finals to swim it again. But I bet you he came in motivated. He told his coach, I'm going for it. And he did it. And the crowd, and when I say the crowd, his fellow swimmers went wild. Here we have Heat 2. In lane 2, Olivia Scott. In lane 3, Rachel Krupis. In lane 4, Olivia Null. Her sister, Georgia Null in lane 5. Lane 6, Juliet Walsh. And lane 7, Claudia Schmidt. Under starters orders we go. Some of those girls taking advantage of the underwater work. Some of them know their strength is on top of the water, so they won't spend too much time underwater. Not breathing much. Perhaps only once or twice over the 50 meter, and here she comes. It is Olivia Null leading the way from Swim Lab, just ahead of her sister. 26.29, Olivia Null. And her sister finishing second there, 27.22.
I think you need to be a little bit
The next event, we will have the men 200 meter breaststroke. It looks like only one swimmer over here in lane 4. Benji Sack. Having a chat there to the officials. It looked like he's going to swim on his own. Not sure if the official offered if he could swim with him. Here we go, under starters orders, the 200 meter breaststroke. Benji Sack there, representing Swim Lab. .226 is his seeded time for the men 200 meter breaststroke. He knows he'll be swimming this event tomorrow morning again on his own in the water, relying completely on his own pace. But I'm sure these swimmers, by this time at this level, they know their own pace. They know their stroke count. They know exactly how many strokes they would give each 50. And then that stroke rate, how many strokes they give per minute. And the key is to keep that stroke rate consistent. The coaches focus on two things, time and stroke rate. If the stroke rate stays consistent throughout the race, they know they're in for a good chance of a good time. You don't want them to start spinning in the water, losing the grip in the water. I've been explained this in very layman terms by Coach Rocco Meyering once. It's like cycling. If you want to cycle fast, you want to be in that big heavy gear, and you want that heavy gear to go as fast as you can in that heavy gear. And you don't want to be in that light, as the cyclists call it, that granny gear, and just spin through it. That just means nothing. So the idea is to stay with a nice long stroke count with a good stroke rate. That is the idea. Staying in that heavy gear, but trying to push that heavy gear as fast as you can. Yeah, you see him picking up that stroke rate, pushing through. You can hear Coach Hilton Slack's whistle there in the background. He'll be chasing a personal best here for him of 2:26. That's his current best. Current time is on 2:25, 2:26. Finishing 2:27.72. Well done, Benji Sack. There you hear the crowd in the background. Swim Lab is situated here right next to us. So there, as Benji completes his cool down, we have next up the women's 200-meter backstroke. The Olympic qualifying time there, 2:10.39. And there we have them. Only one heat over here. In lane 1, we have Tanith Ward. Lane 2, Claudia Smith. In lane 3, Holly Cleworth. In lane 4, Hannah Pierce. In lane 5, Bernali Doster. In lane 6, Emma De Wet. And lane 7, Olivia Scott. Representing Kiro Langebaan there, Claudia Smith. See, it's still chilly over there. Hannah Pierce still has a towel around her, making sure she stays warm as I just prepare those backstroke pads. What did we call them earlier? Backstroke. Well, now I'm calling them backstroke pads. Plates. There we go. Backstroke plates. There we go, backstroke plates are ready. We have Hannah Pierce, she's now ready there. There she is. She'll be swimming in lane 4, representing Vineyards. And you can see that qualifying time there of 2:10.39. The women 200-meter backstroke, we are under starters orders. Tanith, Claudia, Holly, Hannah, Bernali, Emma, and Olivia. And there the ladies go. It looks like the swimmer in lane 5, Bernali Doster, leading the way. But turning first, it is the swimmer in lane 4, 33.71, that first 50. Hannah Pierce, representing Vineyards, her personal best time of 2:16, or that's her seeded time, I'd say, into this event. It is still Hannah in the lead, coming in halfway. 109.35. That is a good split for her. Going into that second 100, you can see that stroke rate picking up now. The head position still great. The kick is still solid. 75 meters to go for her. And just staying there on her hip there is Bernally Doster. Representing ESP, Kempton Park, Bernally. And yeah, they come into that final 50. Hannah Pierce sticking to that lane rope. Now slowly but surely she's pulling away. 25 meters to go. Only one heat here for the women in the 200-meter backstroke. We'll see them again tomorrow morning in the finals.
Oh, she's beautiful. Look at the colors.
Finishing nice and strong there in a time of 2:20.93. I'm sure she'll be satisfied with that swim. 2:22 for Bernally Doster. They'll be sitting down with their coaches now tonight and regroup and see how they're going to be swimming that final. And we're approaching our last event of the first session here, the heats on day one, the 50-meter butterfly. The last event of session one, but we still have a session two. I'll tell you what, one thing I've learned with COVID lockdown is one new word called number 99, last minute. One last phrase that I've learned, and I've definitely learned to adapt. And as I said earlier, we've adapted, and due to COVID regulations, we were put in this position where we had to separate the heat session this afternoon. So swimming the first session are our South African swimmers, the local swimmers, and the second session will be the remainder of those CANA swimmers representing the rest of the African continent. That's why we'll only be swimming one heat of two or two heats of four. You can see a beautiful view there of Kutsenberg, the tartan track and the swimming pool. Lots of top and elite athletes developed here by the Sports Institute here at Stellenbosch. You can hear the weights being thrown around in the background there in the gym. It's not far behind us, the gym overlooking the swimming pool. I'm not even training or swimming and I'm feeling fit just being in this arena. Next up, as I said, the last event of the first session, the men's 50-meter butterfly. The gentlemen getting ready. These fly swimmers will be flying. Excuse the pun. Yeah, they are. Heat 1 and lane 2, Connor Theron. Lane 3, Kobe Ndebele. Lane 4, Ryan Kutsia. Lane 5, Guy Brooks. Lane 6, Ty Pearson. And lane 7, Ethan Pulser. Here they go, 50-meter butterfly. Lane 4 and 5, that is. Ryan and Guy. The starter sets him off. Ryan taking full advantage of that 15-meter limit underwater. Just passing halfway there, the head stays down. These swimmers won't be breathing more than twice in this 50-meter. Ryan finishing strong there in lane 4 with a 24.39. I'm sure he'll be satisfied with that. The personal best of a low 24. Lane 6 there you can see, and then lane 2 was placed 5th, 26. That would have been CANA from SwimLab. Ryan Kutsia representing SEALS. Based in Pietermaritzburg. Under the likes of Coach Wayne Ridden. SEALs and based there in Pietermaritzburg. So well done there to Ryan. There we can see that personality. There's Coach Hilton Slack with Michael leaving the premises with his bright orange Tennessee colors. So those South African swimmers, they'll be leaving the premises after this first session. We'll see them again tomorrow morning at the finals. And you can see and hear us again tomorrow morning at the finals, 10 a.m. And here we have Heat 2. Lane 2, Dylan Wright. Lane 3, Jesse van der Aar. Lane 4, Matt Sates. Lane 5, Simon Haddon. Lane 6, Liam Kutsia. Lane 7, John Boshoff. Sorry, I just had to pause there on Matt Sates. Just brought me back to that amazing swim he had earlier with the 200-meter IM. Under starters orders we are. Lane 4 there, Matt Sates. Lane 5, Simon Haddon. And off they go. What an amazing feeling it must be knowing you're swimming this fast 50-meter butterfly after qualifying earlier for the Olympic Games. Surely you've got to have confidence, and confidence it is. Look at him go. Matt Sates, he's got a body length lead in the heats here. He's not holding back in the heats, definitely not. Finishing there in a time of 24.02. Beautiful swim there by Matt Sates. As I said, not holding back. In the heats, he qualified earlier on in that first heat. A lot of them would know that they will be swimming the heats and the finals, and they'd be taking that into their advantage, strategizing. And some swimmers just perform better in the morning, others perform better in the afternoon. And I would guess that in Matt Sates' case, it is the afternoon, and so he did. I hope to catch up to him tomorrow morning or so in the finals. I'd love to hear what he has to say after that spectacular swim earlier on. There you can see the beautiful sights there, the pool there. This air shot was taken earlier today. You can still see the covers up halfway of the pool, making sure the pool stays warm. And we're on to the third and final heat for this first session of day 1 heats. And there we can see lane 2, Corey Webb. Lane 3, Ethan Dupree. Lane 4, Chad de Cloo. Lane 5, Daniel Ronaldson. Lane 6, Vigus Potgieter. Lane 7, Roan Lottegem. And off they go. Chad de Cloo doing a couple of events here this afternoon. Good underwater work. I said it is his forte, the underwater work. Halfway they go. Right on Chad's hip there we have Daniel Ronaldson representing Seagulls. And the head stays down the last 5 meters. Finishing in a time of 24.93 comfortably. Chad de Cloo already qualified for the Tokyo Olympics, so I'm sure he's using this event as part of his training going into the Olympics. And that concludes the first session. We'll have a short break now where we'll wait for that second group to do a warm-up. We're giving them the opportunity for warm-up. As I said earlier, we've divided the heat session in 2 sessions, and the South African swimmers swimming that first session, and the remainder of the CANA swimmers in the African continent, they will be swimming in the second session. And as we go now to a break, overlooking the beautiful Stellenbosch. That is where we are situated here in Stellenbosch at the Kutsenberg Stadium. See you later.
But you guys, are you staying for waiting for your mom?
Yeah, I'm just going to show you.
Good afternoon, viewers, and welcome to this second half of day one's heats at the 2021 CANA Grand Prix Swimming Stellenbosch. Now, I call it the second half because we had to divide the heat session here on day one in two sessions to comply with COVID regulations. So we had Group 1 swimming earlier, and now we are getting ready for Group 2. And look at that beautiful view of Stellenbosch Stadium and swimming pool, the athletics track and the swimming pool and the gymnasium over there. That was taken earlier today. The sun has set now. It's a beautiful sunset here in this late afternoon here in Stellenbosch, and we are ready for action, the second half of this first session. That first group was compiled of most of our South African swimmers, and the second group is compiled of the majority of our remainder of the African continent. So this is called the CANA Grand Prix. CANA is the continental controlling body of swimming in South Africa. So we have swimmers representing Africa all over the continent. Swimmers have arrived here in Stellenbosch to come and see what they are made of. Some of them trying to qualify still for the Tokyo Olympics, some of them trying to swim personal bests. But for the majority of our CANA swimmers, they had a training camp leading into this event. That was head up by our head coach of Swimming South Africa, Mr. Graham Hill. He was the head coach of the training camp. I see with him, one of the assistant coaches with him there is Coach Garth Tune, also a young up-and-coming coach there from Hartbeespoort, assisting Mr. Graham Hill there with his coach. And what a beautiful start to the event it was earlier today. We started with that men's 200-meter IM, and boy, what an event. That was the first event in the water. They literally broke the water, and that was Matt Sates heading into that 200-meter IM. Now, Matt Sates missed the Tokyo Olympic qualifying time at the Senior Nationals a month ago in Port Elizabeth, and here he comes today in the heat, knowing he's going to swim the finals tomorrow morning because there's only two in that heat. But he just smashed it. He went out hard. I spoke to his coach, Coach Wayne Ridden from Seals, and he went out hard and he managed to clock a time of 1:59.02. The qualifying time there was 1:59.67, and Matt Sates is on his way to Tokyo. What a great start that was to this event. So we're very excited, and this is live there from, you can see it there from Stellenbosch Stellenbosch Stadium. My first time here in Stellenbosch, and I'm really enjoying it. I've only been here a couple of hours, and we're in for a good time over the next 3 days. You can catch us live in every session. You can go to the Swim SA website, and you'll find the link there for every session. And you can also go into YouTube. Just type in there Swim SA, and you will find the link to the sessions. The heat session started this afternoon at 4 p.m. Tomorrow morning's finals will start at 10 a.m. Tomorrow afternoon, 4 p.m., we will have the heats again for that second session, and then we will have the finals for that session on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. There you can see the start of the swimming pool. That's the start side and the finish side, or I'd rather call it the finish side, because when we do the 50s we start on the opposite side of the pool, and just above that, that's the gymnasium here at Stellenbosch, at the high performance center over here. So you can actually hear some of the weights dropping in the background. The officials there getting ready. A big thanks to our officials making this event possible. Most of these officials here are volunteering at these events, and they are adding to the success of South African swimming up to now. And boy, has it been successful, with those handful of swimmers qualifying at the Senior Nationals a month ago, and then starting here today with Matt Sates qualifying for Tokyo. And I'm sure we'll see a lot more qualifying time. So yeah, we have we're starting with a 200-meter freestyle, the women 200-meter freestyle. Earlier today we swam heat 1, and now we are going to swim heat 2. As I said, due to COVID protocols, we had to split the first heat session here on day 1 into 2, and therefore all the first half of the heats swam earlier this afternoon, and now we are on to the second half. And there you can see our swimmers getting ready. You will recognize some foreign names. Why? Because they are foreign. They're from all over the continent of Africa. And there you can see in lane 5 we have Tilka Palik, and that's lane 4. And lane 5 we have Amara Pinto. This is the 200-meter freestyle for women, and we're under starters orders. Only 2 swimmers in this heat. There were 3 swimmers in heat 1 earlier this afternoon. That means that all 5 of these swimmers will be swimming tomorrow morning in the final, which is fantastic. I spoke about it earlier. Even though they are only 5 swimmers, usually what they would do is they would make that event a straight finals. But because some of these swimmers are trying to qualify for the Olympic Games taking place in July, they are given the opportunities to still swim a heat and a final. Now you would see in this case over here, these 2 swimmers, very controlled and perhaps taking it a bit easier as they would in a final. Why? Because they know they are swimming in the final later or tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. But that was not the case with Matt Sates. Matt Sates decided he's going to take advantage and he's going to swim hard in both the heats and finals, and there you have it. He qualified for Tokyo. As they head halfway, it looks like lane 5 leading the way, very close to each other. The timing system here by us not up yet, so I couldn't give you that split, but they're halfway in. And there you can see on the opposite side, you can hear the whistle there of Coach Graham Hill. Coach Graham Hill led the training camp over here that took place earlier this week, the CANA training camp, where they invited swimmers from all across the continent of Africa to take part in the training camp leading into this event. So I could imagine Coach Graham Hill, our head coach of Swimming South Africa, telling these 2 swimmers, hey, you know, you've got the final tomorrow morning. We've had a hard week behind us, so let's just cruise it, stay controlled, and rest well tonight so we can smash it in the final. And here they come, 25 meters to go. Last 5 meters, head down into the wall. Lane 4 there, Tilka taking the win there from Zambia in that heat. You can hear the coaches telling these swimmers to cool down. These swimmers have the opportunity after each heat to do a 50 to 100 meter cool down. And as I mentioned earlier, I spoke about these officials. It's so great to have the officials on the swimmers' side at this event. Top swimmers from all across the continent representing CANA and their various zones here at this event. And they are making it possible, these officials, and trying to create the best environment for them and enough time to recover, enough time to cool down so that they can perform optimally. So that was heat 2 of 2 for the women 200 meter freestyle. The heat 1 swam earlier this afternoon. As I mentioned, due to COVID protocols, it is due to COVID protocols, we had to split this session into 2 due to COVID protocols. All these swimmers staying in one bubble, staying in the same hotel. They're definitely taking COVID and are compliant, and they're very serious about it. Here we see, this looks like the men 100 meter freestyle, and this would be heat 4. We swam the first 3 heats earlier, and then lane 1 we have Joel Monte in Gione, Lane 2, Gaber Hossein. Lane 3, Adnan Kabuye. Lane 4, Ajuhairi Ambala. Lane 5, Alessan Lantina. Lane 6, Emmanuel Kapano. And lane 7, Al-Hadi Diallo. There you can see that swimmer there in lane 5, Alessan, the green cap, in lane getting ready. Alessan. We are under starters orders.
There you go.
Take your box.
And off they go. This is heat 4 of the men's 100-meter freestyle. Splashing away. Yeah, they go. Halfway. They reach halfway. Let's look at that time. It looks like lane 5 leading the way in 26:01. That is Alessan in lane 5, and look at him pulling away. Great underwater work off of that turn. Seven meters to go it is, 5 meters to go. Head down, finishing strong into the wall. It looks like lane 4 just past lane 5 there, with the likes of Atuari just passing Alessan there at the end. Strong finish there by the Ugandan swimmer. There we can see Alessan in that green cap having a look at his time. Atuhaire cooling it down, making sure that they warm down. What an absolute honor it is to be invited to Stellenbosch to attend a training camp under the likes of head coach Graham Yill. Loads of experience. So many swimmers, we talk about so many swimmers qualifying for the Olympics up to now. And what I really like about it is not only a lot of swimmers qualifying, but these swimmers are from various coaches across the country. So not only do we have these great swimmers, but we have a vast majority of great coaches within the country. Rocco Meyering leading up Tatiana over there, Wayne Ridden with Matt Seitz. So no, it's so great to see them. Barland, the coach there of Ethan Dupria. Graham Yill, some of his swimmers would have qualified for Olympics as well. So we've got really a handful of coaches over here that's been doing an excellent job. So I'm sure our Swimming South Africa high performance manager, Mr. Dean Price, would be very proud of the structures within Swimming South Africa and the coaches and their swimmers. And here we go, heat 5. This is lane 1, we have Mohamed Kamara. Lane 2, Malknar Mamadou. Lane 3, Mark Danso. In lane 4, Matthew Lawrence. In lane 5, Andile Bakr. In lane 6, Adam Monchery. In lane 7, Mohamed Musa. This is heat 5 of the men's 100-meter freestyle. You can see there the Tokyo qualifying time, 48.57. Swimmers of that previous heat, Alessan, they're just completing his warm down, taking full advantage of the opportunity to do a 100-meter warm down. We started with an overcast afternoon earlier. It's still a bit overcast, so it's a bit chilly on the outside. You'll see the cameras, when the cameras are on these swimmers, they keep those warm clothes on right until they swim. We are now under starters orders. for heat number 5, men's 100-meter freestyle.
Take your mark.
15 meters is the maximum distance they are allowed to go off the start and the turn. Some of them just coming up after that 10 meters, taking full advantage of the underwater work. And it looks like the swimmer there in lane 5, Matthew Lawrence from Mozambique, leading the way. He's got a personal best time of 53.07, or seeded time, I'd say. That doesn't necessarily mean it's their personal best, but that's his seeded time for this event from Mozambique. Only 17 years old, Matthew Lawrence. Heading his way back. You can hear that the coaches are a lot more enthusiastic than in that first session. Finishing really strong there in lane 4. That is Matthew Lawrence from Mozambique with a time of 54.13. Well done, Matthew. Lane 5 finishing second there, 55.4. That is Andile Bakker from Botswana. I'm not sure if that face means that he's disappointed with that time or he's just tired. I'm going to be the optimistic one, saying that he's just tired. You can see a strong bond has been formed over the last couple of days during the training camp with these swimmers representing countries from all over Africa as part of CANA, showing lots of love and support to one another before the races. They are sitting together there behind our coaches standing on pool deck, and they're sitting behind. There you can see, I mentioned earlier, some of the swimmers keeping those warm tops on until just before they start. See the swimmer there in lane 4 for this 6th and final heat. That is Alhadi Adama Niane from Senegal. The swimmer there in lane 5. Belly. Here we go. The names are up for that last heat, the 6th and final heat for the men's 100-meter freestyle. Austin Okare in lane 1. Yuseni Furtado in lane 2. Collins Saliboko in lane 3. El Hadi Niane in lane 4. Beli Ganira in lane 5. Billy Irakoze in lane 6. Mamadou Ba in lane 7. And Hilal in lane 8. This is the 6th and final heat for the men's 100-meter freestyle. Lane 6 swimmer there, Billy. Representing Burundi, Billy there, and right next to him we have Belly and Billy. We are on the starters' orders. And off they go, the 6th and final heat for the men's 100-meter freestyle here on day 1. No breathing for at least that first 25 meters for that swimmer in lane 4. Ilhadi Adama from Senegal. As they approach halfway, let's look at that time, 25.03. Ilhadi's personal best time of 52.23. Let's see what he comes back on. Can he come back on that 27? The coaches very enthusiastic, supporting them along in that last 10 meters now. We're reaching 49, 50, 51. And what's that final split? 52-3-1 for that swimmer in lane 4. On his personal best time, I'm sure he'll be very satisfied with that swim. The swimmer there from Senegal, El Hadi Niane, 52-3-1. And the swimmer there in lane 5 looking very happy with his performance. You can hear the coaches over there. There's at least, from where I'm sitting, you know, you got 4 or 5 coaches standing there next to pool deck. It's such a beautiful sight to see. I mean, surely you can't you can't ask for a better team than the team of coaches that were involved with this training camp, this CANA training camp, with the head coach there, Mr. Graham Hill, doing an outstanding job. Making sure that we develop the sport of swimming within CANA. I'll explain that family tree to you once again. We have FINA right in the top. That's our the International Swimming Federation, and that is then divided into different continental controlling bodies, and CANA is the African continental controlling body, and then that African controlling body is then further divided into different zones, and South Africa falls under Zone 4. Swimming South Africa then falls under Zone 4. The next event that we have here is the women's 100-meter breaststroke. Heat 2 of 2 this morning. We swam Heat 1. Laura van Niekerk really trying to qualify for the Tokyo Games. The qualifying time there, 1:07.07, and just missed it this morning with a 1:08. Hopefully she'll try and go for it in the final. We have here in Heat 2, we have Marihama Taure, and in lane 3, in lane 4, Erika Saures Furtados Saures, in lane 5, Mokhtar Mamadou, in lane 6, Alfonsine Agahazo. The women's 100-meter breaststroke. This is Heat 2 of 2. Heat 1 we swam earlier this afternoon. Due to COVID protocols, we had to split the session in 2. So we had the first half of the heats swam earlier this afternoon. That started at 4 p.m. and now the second half. We started just after 6, 6:15. And now we reach Heat 2 of the women's 100-meter breaststroke. A qualifying time there, 1:07.07 for the Tokyo Olympics. Here we have Heat 2. We are under starters orders. And there they go, the breaststrokers. I'm sure these swimmers are looking up to the likes of Tatiana Schoenmaker. We won't forget that magnificent event she swam at the Senior Nationals that took place a month ago in Port Elizabeth, swimming that world-leading time of 2:20 in the 200-meter breaststroke. Kylene Corbett, her teammate, the training partner, qualified alongside her in that 200-meter breaststroke. And we have Laura van Niekerk, another hopeful to qualify for the 100-meter breaststroke. Let's hope she does that in the final tomorrow morning. And there these ladies are on their way back now. The 100-meter breaststroke leading there in lane 4. It looks like Erika. Cape Verde. The swimmer there from Cape Verde. There she goes. It is Erica pushing her way through. She's got a big gap, probably a 2.5 length body lead. Finishing strong there. What's the time going to be? It's a time of 1 minute, 30 seconds. She jumps up in the air. I'm sure she's satisfied with that time. The swimmers at a training camp earlier in this week, and they're ending off the training camp with this gala. So you could see some fatigue on their faces. I'm sure it's not just from the swim, but they would have some of the training camp still in the body. So you can catch us live at every session. This is the first session of 2. Each session is divided in heats and finals. And tomorrow morning we'll have the finals taking place at 10 a.m. And you can catch us live on Swim SA's website, or you can just go to YouTube and type in Swim SA and you'll find the link there. And that is where we are situated at the beautiful Kutsenberg Stadium in Stellenbosch. That aerial footage taken earlier this afternoon. You can see the pool covered, half of it is covered, making sure the water stays warm for as long as possible. It is pretty nippy outside, so we make sure the water is warm right there next to the athletics track. And that's the high performance center over here in Stellenbosch. Develop some elite athletes in the country. A lot of the international sportsmen and women use these grounds as training grounds. They love to train in South Africa purely because of the weather conditions. We have superb weather conditions right throughout the year, so we can't ask for better weather conditions and terrains for the international athletes and local athletes to train optimally. So those ladies concluded the women's 100-meter breaststroke. Next up, we will have the men's 50-meter breaststroke. They will start on the opposite side of the pool. This morning, we got to see Michael Howley. Michael Howley, he qualified for the Tokyo Olympics, only 20 years old. He won a gold medal in the 50-meter breaststroke back in 2018 at the Youth Olympic Games. Michael Howley is based in the States, in America, where he swam his qualifying time there. He did not swim it at the Nationals. Our Swimming South Africa high performance manager, Dean Price, he had some motivations towards the IOC and SASCOC to give the swimmers that are abroad the opportunity to qualify where they are based. But nonetheless, Michael Howley is now back in South Africa. Tennessee head coach called up Hilton Slack to take him under his wing, and he's taking good care of him here in Cape Town with the Swim Lab crew. Here we have heat 2 of 2 in lane 3. We have Austin Okore. In lane 4 we have Felipe Gomes. In lane 5 Muhammad Kamara. In lane 6 Joel Monte Engine. 50-meter breaststroke heat 2. A fantastic start with a very early lead there by the swimmer in lane 5, Felipe. A very, very fast stroke rate that he has. Felipe has got a personal best time of 29.9. What can he swim here in the heats this afternoon? Finishing nice and strong there, finishing on a 30.14. Very close to his personal best time. Well done there, Felipe. He's from Malawi, Felipe from Malawi. Great swim there, 30.14. Straight into the cool down he goes. He'll be swimming in the final tomorrow. There were only 4 swimmers in Heat 1 and 4 in lane in Heat 2. That means that we've got 8 lanes for the final. All 8 of these swimmers will be swimming in the final tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I mentioned that the first session, the heats on this Thursday afternoon was divided into 2 sessions to comply with COVID regulations. So to comply with COVID regulations, the officials were put in a position to divide the first session, the heats here today on this Thursday afternoon, into 2. So earlier this afternoon we swam the first couple of heats of each event, and now we are concluding and swimming the remainder of those heats. This is the 2021 CANA Grand Prix swimming here in Stellenbosch, the beautiful Kutsenberg swimming pool. CANA is the continental controlling body. That is why we have some of the best swimmers all around the continent of Africa representing here today, including the South African swimmers, of course. And there we have only 1 swimmer here in the 100-meter backstroke. You can see him getting ready over there. That is Andile Becker from Botswana, only 18 years old. The 1:02.1 is his seeded time over here. He's got a good chance of swimming in the final tomorrow morning. Heat 1 was full with 8 swimmers. So if he swims a better time than one of those 8 swimmers, he should swim in the final tomorrow morning. You can see him over there, focused and determined. So both myself and my producer were wrong earlier this afternoon. It is called wedges, backstroke wedges. That is what's in the water to assist the backstrokers with their starts. There we go in lane 4, Andile Becker. So the wedges, you can see it there, just floating. You can see the strap. There he can place his feet on those wedges to give him that extra grip. And you'll see him pull himself right up there as the starter says on your marks. There you can see, pulling himself right out the water to get that explosive power off the wall with the help of those wedges. Just short of 15 meters. 15 meters is the maximum distance they're allowed to go underwater off the start and the turn. Swimming there on his own in Heat 2. That is Andile Becker from Botswana. He's got his top seeded time here of 1:02. Turning there halfway on 31. 31, let's see if he can do a negative split and swim that 1:02. There you can hear the whistle of Coach Graham Hill. He was the leading coach for the training camp that Andile was part of earlier this week. Keeping it controlled, he's got a smooth stroke, staying in control of that stroke rate. Going out on a 31 and finishing on a 1:03.63. Beautiful splits there. I'm sure the coach will be satisfied with that time. And I'm sure he'll be satisfied with that time, as he will be swimming in the final tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. There you can see the colors of Botswana on his cap. Becker, congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow morning, and you can see us tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Just log on to the website, Swim South Africa's website, and you'll find the link there for each one of these sessions. We are making sure that you do not miss a second or a meter of this event. We'll now shift over to the opposite side of the pool and swim Heat 3 of 3 for the women 50-meter backstroke. Beautiful swim there this morning by Michaela de Villiers. And of course in Heat 2 we had Olivia Nell alongside her sister Georgia Nell from SwimLab. Only 2 swimmers here in Heat 3. See them getting ready on the opposite side of the pool. Those wedges can be set in the water to your preference. So that's usually why the time between the heats in the backstroke does take a little bit longer as they make sure that those wedges are on the correct setting for them, to make sure they've got that perfect grip. And there they are, the 2 names in Heat 3. Nafisat Radi and Tuyami Changanamanu. And the starters all as we are.
Take your mark.
Great start there by the swimmer in lane 4, Nafisat. She's from Benin. And we have Tiami from Malawi in lane 5. And Nafisat finishing strong there from Benin. Only 18 years old she is. Time of 35.59. And Tiami swimming there, time of 39.55. Oh, she's smiling. You can see there, train camp on the swimming cap. Train camp involved in the training camp that took place in CANA. Not in CANA, in Stellenbosch, as part of the CANA group, the CANA training camp. Train camp involved. You can see the train camp logo on the caps and the swim bags. You can't see those swim bags, but we can see them. Train camp involved with the training camp that took place earlier this week. So on the program, we next up we have the men's 200-meter butterfly, but that one and only heat was swam earlier today. That was won by Chad Leclerc, that heat, and followed by Ethan Dupree. Both of those swimmers already qualified for the Tokyo Olympics. And the women's 400-meter IM, that would be the event after that, and that would be a timed final event. Therefore, we do not swim it in the heats. It will be swum tomorrow morning in the finals, starting at 10 a.m. with that one and only swimmer there, Emma Kuhn, which leads us to the next event on the program, the men's 400-meter freestyle. Finishing later than planned in this heat session here on this Thursday afternoon on day one. Simply because we had to adapt to COVID regulations. We had to split this session one, these heats, into 2 sessions to comply with COVID regulations. I'll tell you what, I had to undergo my own COVID test, and that's just a reflection onto how serious these officials and compliance officers are taking COVID. Yeah, we're only a couple of months away from the Tokyo Olympics, and there are Olympians among us, and we do not want to put any one of them at risk. So they're all based in the same hotel, and it reminds me of those school camps. You know, you can't sneak out and get out. Everybody's indoors in that bubble, having a good. And there we have them. This is a heat 2 of 2. I can see them in front of me getting ready. In lane 4, only 2 swimmers here from Tunisia. We have Ahmed Jawadi and from Botswana in lane 5. Andile Becker didn't swim too long ago, and that's why they probably gave him the opportunity to rest a bit and recover, as he now faces 8 laps in the 50-meter pool to complete his 400-meter freestyle. This is heat 2 of 2. Heat 1 we had Keegan Wright and Lo Esterhazen. Keegan took that heat, and here's heat 2. We are under starters orders. And there they go, 2 swimmers. We had 2 swimmers in heat 1, 2 swimmers in heat 2. This means that all 4 of them will be swimming tomorrow morning in the final at 10 a.m. I mentioned it earlier today while the South African swimmers were swimming, and the A qualifying time for each event, how is it determined? It is determined by the 14th fastest swimming time at the previous Olympics. So they took the 14th fastest time at the Rio Olympics of each event, and that would be your A qualifying time. And for the South Africans and how Swimming South Africa works and how you can qualify, we allow 2 swimmers to qualify and swim an A qualifying time. So if you swim that A qualifying time, you make your way to Tokyo if you are one of the top 2 swimmers. For instance, we already had those 2 slots filled with Tatiana Schoenmark and Kylene Corbett in that 200-meter breaststroke. If a 3rd swimmer had to qualify and swim that qualifying time and swim a faster time than one of those 2 swimmers, she would then automatically take that slot. Swimming South Africa do not consider the B qualifying time when it comes to the Olympics. So for the South African swimmers to qualify for Olympics, they need to swim the A qualifying time. And boy, have we had some amazing swimmers swimming that A qualifying time. I'm pretty sure that this is the year where the most swimmers, individual swimmers, have qualified. Let's hope and let's hold thumbs for our relays to qualify. We're hoping to send our 4x100 meter mixed relay for the ladies, as well as the 200 free relay. That 200 free relay was swam by Hannah Robertson, Dunay Kutsia, Amy Cunny, and Rebecca Meader at the Nationals a month ago. And how the relays work to qualify at the World Championships prior to the Olympic Games, and in this case it would be in 2019 in South Korea. We had the World Championships. The top 12 teams at that World Championships automatically qualify for the Olympics, and they would love to have 2 heats at the Olympics, which leaves us with 4 slots. So they allow 16 teams to qualify. The top 12 teams have already qualified automatically, and there's 4 slots left, and we are hoping that the South African female ladies would take one of those 4 slots. So the last day to enter your team would be at the end of May, and to enter those times, and let's hope we are part of that fastest 4 teams. And here we are on to the 4th and last 100 for the 400-meter freestyle heat 2. That is the swimmer of Tunisia, only 15 years old, Ahmed Jawadi from Tunisia. He's got a personal best time of 4:01.0. And he's on his way back here. The Tunisian swimmer, only 15 years old. Wow. And look at that kick that he has, leaving it for the last 50. Very, very strong kick, controlled stroke, beautiful stroke rate, finishing strong. A time of 4:07.13. Man, his head went up before he even touched the wall. That's how eager he was to see his time. Phenomenal swim there by the 15-year-old lad from Tunisia, Ahmed. There you have it, 4:07, and here comes Andile from Botswana, Andile Becker. This is his second event for the day. Cruising in with a 4:38.44. Knowing that he will swim the final tomorrow, that's why he just cruised it into the wall. The next event on the program will be the women's 50-meter freestyle. We have 4 heats in total. 2 heats were swam earlier this afternoon. We are heading over to heat 3 of 4. The ladies on the opposite side of the pool seems to be ready there. You can see them just waiting for our 2 400-meter swimmers to complete their warm down. And there you have it. In lane 1, we have Titi Dumbuya. Lane 2, Erica Furtado Soares. In lane 3, Domingas Munhemeze. In lane 4, Tilka Paljik. In lane 5, Amara Pinto. In lane 6, Nafisath Raji. And lane 7, Alponsine Agohoza. There you can see that Olympic qualifying time of 24:77. This is heat 3 of the women's 50-meter freestyle. The sun is down, the moon is out, the spotlights are on, and the camera visuals are spot on. Beautiful. We are on the starters orders, heat 3 of 4 for the women 50-meter freestyle. Great start there by the swimmer in lane 4. Tilya Paljik from Zambia, 27:36 is her best time. "24 years of age, and look at her, she's got more than a body length lead over the rest of the field in this heat. Heat 3, what's her time going to be? 27:35. Well done there to the Zambian swimmer, Tilka Paljik, winning that heat 3 in the women's 50-meter freestyle. There you have it, the timing system. You've got to be really fast, as that time is up there for a couple of seconds or so. There we go, under coach's orders, doing a warm down. We at times underestimate the importance of a warm down. And the faster you swim, the stronger you are, the more lactate you build up, the more important that recovery becomes. We have one more heat left with the women's 50-meter freestyle. Heat 4 of 4. In lane 1, we have there from Rwanda, we have Uwase. Lane 2, Mokhtar Mamadou. In lane 3, Robin Young. In lane 4, Janie Boutbane. In lane 5, Alicia Matthias. In lane 6, Tiami Changanamanu. In lane 7, Mariama Taure. Heat 4 of 4, the woman 50-meter freestyle, under starters orders. From Senegal there, the 22-year-old Jenny Boutbane. With a time of 27:03. There she goes, head down. These swimmers won't breathe much during this 50-meter. She's got 10 meters to go, 7 meters to go now. Finishing nice and strong. What will their time be? 27:69. Sure, she will be satisfied with that time. The swimmer there from Senegal. And that concludes the women's 50-meter freestyle. The heats take place at 4 p.m. in the afternoons and the finals 10 a.m. in the mornings. And you can catch us live on Swim South Africa's website. You can find the link there on the website, or you can go straight to YouTube. Just type in Swim SA and you'll find the link there, or just on our Facebook page via our social media networks. You can catch every second live here from the 2021 CANA Grand Prix in the beautiful Stellenbosch. Look at that fantastic pool. I spoke to Matt State's coach, Wayne Ridden, based in Pietermaritzburg earlier, just after he swam that amazing qualifying time for Tokyo, and just complimenting the pool. It's really clear. It's pretty level throughout. And we got perfect conditions here. Well, at least for his swimmer, Matt Sates. And there we have it. Only one swimmer from Malawi, Felipe Gomez, with that train camp, swimming cap I spoke about earlier. Heat 2 of 2 for the men's 200-meter breaststroke. There's that qualifying time, 2:10. What a fast time that is, 2:10.35 for the men's 200-meter breaststroke. Under starters orders. He's swimming on his own over here. But he knows his strengths, he knows his weaknesses, he knows just how strong he needs to go out. And these swimmers know exactly how many strokes they give per length. A nice, beautiful, long glide. And the aim is to keep that consistent stroke rate throughout the 200 meters. Possibly pick it up a little bit in that last 50 meter without spinning the arms through the water. 50 meters down, 150 meters to go. The National Lotteries Commission there in the top corner of your screen. Of course, making this event possible with their funds. And there he goes. For that moment that it heads out of the water, that is the opportunity for the coach to blow his whistle. And you can hear the whistle there in the outside. And each coach would have his different signal, and that swimmer would know that language. Am I on pace? Am I not on pace? 100 meters down with a time of 1:12.12. He's got his best time here, his seeded time here of 2:27.8. So he needs to come back on a 1:15 in order to swim that 2:27, although he knows he's in the final tomorrow morning with only 2 swimmers that swam there in the first heat. So all 3 of them will be in the final tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And on to the last 50 he goes. The 2-hand touch, breaststroke and butterfly. That is the rule. They're doing open turns. You got to touch with 2 hands. You can hear the swimmers getting behind him. Felipe supporting him on. 25 meters to go. Now it's not only the coach, it's the swimmers. You can hear them cheer for that moment that his head out the water. Coach Graham Hill walking alongside him, having a look at the clock. They would have discussed before the swim what is the target for the heats. 2:31.81. Coach looks satisfied. Swimmer looks satisfied. And that concludes the men's 200-meter breaststroke for the heats here on day 1 at the 2021 CANA Grand Prix. Another opportunity for these swimmers to qualify for the Tokyo Olympics as it is getting closer and closer. 23 July, 23 or 24 July, I think is the exact date for the swimming to start at the Olympics in Tokyo. They have another opportunity at the end of the month in Durban, at the Grand Prix in Durban, to qualify. And there's those beautiful visuals again of the Kutsenberg Stadium. There's the track, the rugby fields, and the swimming pool, the tennis courts next to us. All sports welcomed here in Stellenbosch. And there's the main soccer pitch. And they're all welcome and they feel welcomed. All international teams would come to South Africa and train here simply because our climate is amazing. The next event on the program is the women's 200-meter backstroke. There was only 1 heat there, and that was swam earlier. And that means we move on to the final event of the first day's heats, and that is the men's 50-meter butterfly. We swam the first 3 heats earlier, and we've got 3 heats left. I see the men on the opposite side of the pool getting ready there. You can see them 50-meter freestyle, a 50-meter butterfly. My apologies, 50-meter butterfly. Heat 4 of 6 about to start. It is in lane 1. We have Jonathan Weiser, lane 2 Austin, lane 3 Emmanuel, lane 4 El Hadi, lane 5 Collins, and lane 6 Mamadou. 50-meter butterfly. This is going to be fast. The head stays down for at least those first 8 strokes as they merge out of the water. Seven meters to go, 5 meters to go. The head stays down into the wall. Lane 4, the swimmer there, El Hadi, with a time of 25.2, I think that was. I'm sure he'll be very satisfied with that swim, as his previous best was a 25.7. So I'm pretty sure he swam his personal best here in this late afternoon, early evening. 27 years old, the swimmer there from Senegal, Al Hadi, taking that heat 4. 2 more heats to go. We're on to heat 5 of 6 for the men's 50-meter butterfly. In lane 2, we have El Hadji Diallo. In lane 3, Adnan Kubiye. In lane 4, Adam Moncheri in lane 5, Beli Janira. In lane 6, Makhtar Mamadou. We are under starters orders for heat 5 of 6 for the men's 50-meter butterfly. The swimmer there in lane 4 with the fastest seated time, 25.56 from Seychelles. The 22-year-old Adam Moncheri. And the head stays down all the way. That last 15 meters, his head remained down. And he swims there a time of 25.71. I'm sure he'll be satisfied with that time. After his seated time was there, 25.56. So not far off that sweetie seated time. Well done there to Adam Moncheri, the swimmer there from Seychelles, the 22-year-old swimmer. Very satisfied swimmer there in lane 5. Beli Janira from Burundi. We have one more heat left to conclude the heats session here at the 2021 CANA Grand Prix in the beautiful Stellenbosch. There they are, the previous heat just concluding their warm down. We have our final heat ready there. We have there in lane 2, Gaber Hossein. In lane 3, Atuari Ambala. In lane 4, Matthew Lawrence. In lane 5, Alassane Saidou Lanchina. In lane 6, Yuseni Furtado. In lane 7, Muhammad Ali Musa. The swimmer there with the fastest seated time, 25.39 from Mozambique, Matthew Lawrence. And there he goes. Great start there from Matthew Lawrence. See the swimmer there in lane 5 really coming high out of the water over there. The swimmer there, Alassane Saidou. And there they go, finishing strong. The swimmer there in lane 4, 25.6 from Mozambique, the 17-year-old Matthew Lawrence. And they conclude the first session here. The heats on day 1, 2021 CANA Grand Prix swimming Stellenbosch. And there you can hear in the background that final whistle. And wow, what an amazing afternoon it was. We arrived here starting with the news that we had to split the heats here on this first day into 2 sessions to comply to the COVID regulations. So I'm sure the swimmers also heard that last minute and they had to adapt to that situation. That is why we did end later than planned. So we just concluded that second half of the heat session this afternoon, and most definitely my highlights of the afternoon, and I'm sure it is many of the coaches and swimmers' highlights. Matthew Sates, the first heat, the first event, the 200-meter IM, swimming there an amazing time of 1:59.02. And that would give him a qualifying time for the Tokyo Olympics. He came here this afternoon with a goal, and the goal was to qualify for the 200-meter IM, and he decided, you know what, I'm not going to wait for the finals, I'm going out hard. And there we go. That concludes the first day, the first session, the heats here at the 2021 CANA Grand Prix swimming in Stellenbosch. Catch us tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. on Swim SA on the website. You can catch the link there for that session, or just go onto YouTube. Just type in Swim SA and you'll find us there. We are going for dinner now, gents. Have a lovely afternoon.